Want to make sure you know about our Prison Fellowship campaign. This is an incredible organization, and every year we partner with Prison Fellowship and Angel Tree. And last year, you sent over 2,100 children to summer camp. These are the sons and daughters, the children of Americans who are incarcerated, speaking of prisoners. And these kids are, through no fault of their own, are going through a personal hell with this COVID-19 lockdown. And what Prison Fellowship has done this year is something that is so profound to me. And listen, I know we're all challenged right now. We're all going through something major, but it feels so good to be able to do good for vulnerable children who are at risk. According to one study, children of those who are incarcerated right here in the United States are about 3 times as likely as other kids to become involved in the justice system themselves. But thanks to you, we can help break that cycle for as many kids as you're going to choose to support. I've done a bunch of sponsorships right now in the last few days. For a $200 contribution, Prison Fellowship will send a beautiful, beautiful Angel Tree care package to one of these children. The care package is going to contain over $150 in grocery gift cards, good, healthy, nutritious food for these nutritional foods. So these kids are in many cases in low-income neighborhoods. This is a beautiful Christian ministry, incidentally. Angel Tree just does incredible work. They really do God's work. The gift box, the care package will also encourage a soccer ball, brand new football, or a basketball to promote exercise and the fresh air, an age-appropriate Bible, an encouraging, uplifting message, and the beauty of it is the child understands that the gift is from their own mom or dad, which is, again, do you realize what kind of impact that could have in a child's life? Now, this is an unusual time, and I know we got a long way to go. Our goal is 650 kids to be sponsored at $200 a piece. So far in the last couple of days, your generosity, your graciousness, you have sponsored 61 kids. So we're only at about 10% of our goal. Got a long way to go, but I am prayerful that you might be touched and you will consider making a donation to our Angel Tree program. This sends a message of hope to these children. They need hope. We all need hope. Can you imagine a contribution that will immediately give that kind of hope to a child who, again, through no fault of their own, has a mom or dad, or maybe mom and dad in jail? Please go to my website, mikeonline.com, and give what you can. Again, $200 will send one of these care packages, but anything you can give will be greatly appreciated. Last year at this time, we had about 800 kids sponsored. Today it's 61, but this is a whole different world right now we're in. And I still have faith that God will prevail in this and that you will be touched and you will be willing to bless these children. If you please go to mikeonline.com and give anything you can. Look for the Prison Fellowship Angel Tree banner toward the top of the page. You'll see it right there on our site, mikeonline.com. And thank you, thank you, thank you for your generosity and for your gracious spirit. Please believe me, when you give, you feel like you've done God's work, and I hope you will. I hope you will. Lots of calls coming in, and a very pragmatic question about how to navigate the finances of this crisis.
Hey, Mike. You're doing good work. Thank you. People that are getting these deferred mortgage payments need to read the fine print, because I got one of those, and after 3 months, you have to pay the entire amount back. So it's not like it's just suspending them for us anyway. Thank you.
That's true. It's not wiped off, but what I want to talk to with an expert about this is, what does a deferred mortgage payment look like? And we were thinking this week about getting somebody on the show to talk a little bit about people who are navigating refinancing right now. There's just everybody knows interest rates are at epic lows, but also what about these deferred payments? And I couldn't think of a better guest than Mike Rakeman, who is with Fellowship Home Loans. They are partners of ours here on the Mike Gallagher Show. You know that this is the company I recommend for any of your lending needs, your mortgage needs, refinancing, reverse mortgages, and they're right in the thick of it right now with their customers and the banks. Mike, it's great having you on the Mike Gallagher Show, joining us on Skype and on the radio. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Pleasure to be here. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. Every day we're getting through this. You guys have been open. I know you've been working remotely. You've wanted to make sure we convey a message of safety and health to our listeners and to your customers. I have a friend who has a mortgage, was laid off or furloughed, has a mortgage. He went to his bank online and he said, man, it's like a piece of cake. They make it so easy for you. Many of the banks are doing this where they say, if you have a hardship, if you have a financial hardship and you have a mortgage with us, click here. We're not even asking for you to qualify it or to give any documentation. We will just let you suspend your mortgage payment for 90 days. And as the caller just said a minute ago, Mike, I know that it's not forgiven. It goes, I guess a deferred mortgage payment means it goes to the end of the term, maybe in 20 or 25 years or 10 years, whatever it will be. I think the question that a lot of people have, Mike, is, does it hurt your credit? Will it come back to bite you down the road? Talk to us a little bit about what the banks are offering with these deferred mortgage payments, Mike.
Absolutely. And I think the first day that this program rolled out, I think Bank of America, who's obviously one of the largest servicers in the country, got over 500,000 people to call them. Now, some of these people were still working. Some of these people had perfect job intact, no issues there whatsoever, had plenty of money in their bank account. They just thought they were getting a free ride. And it's just not the way it works. I think first and foremost, you got to look at doing your civil duty as a responsible citizen of the country and say, hey, listen, am I going to take advantage of some program that rolls out there? And the answer is no, you absolutely shouldn't. And this is not a free handout. This is not a giveaway. We have people that are in the process of refinancing their home. And they're like, oh, well, I'm going to defer my payment, so I'm not going to pay April. Well, if you don't pay your April mortgage payment because you go on this deferment plan, well, we can't write your loan anymore because now you have a late mortgage payment. So it's really for an emergency purposes only. Someone that lost their job and has to decide, do I defer my payments because otherwise I can't put food on the table for my family? And that's the person that this is designed for. What they're going to do is then at the end of the deferment, depending on the servicer, there could be a lump sum due, as the caller said previously, or you could be in a situation where they then add $200 to your mortgage payment and space out the deferment over the next, year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is.
I see. And if you do it, if like this friend of mine who is furloughed and is scrambling, and he's literally in that situation. He said, I don't know how to. I got to buy groceries. I got to pay my bills. If I have this 90-day window where I don't have a mortgage, his first concern was, what happens if I want to get a refi down the road, or I want to try to maybe buy another property? Does it hurt your credit score?
Absolutely. When you have a mortgage, one of the things that we have to do when we are approving your loan is to prove that you have been timely on your mortgage payments for the last 12 months or 24 months. If you go on this deferment plan, then you didn't make payments for that period of time. So even though the bank allowed you to do that, we're going to have an issue where we're not going to be able to qualify you for future financing, whether it's you go to buy something down the road or refinance, or even obtain other credit. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is still going to kick in, and when that payment's not made within that 30-day time frame that you have, it's going to be a blemish on your credit report.
Even though it's COVID-19 related, because I know in my friend's case, he showed me where the bank said, we won't be reporting this to the credit bureau, the credit agencies. But of course, immediately his thought was, yeah, that looks good. I'm not sure I'm confident in that promise.
Mike, we saw a lot of this too back in 2008, 2009, when we had the financial crisis then, and a lot of people did loan modifications. So what it was is same thing. They could have their payments deferred for a period of time. They could have their balance of their mortgage reduced. But again, that was great. And if they needed to do it at the time, of course you have to do it. You have to do what's best for you and your family financially.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean that you're going to automatically be able to get financing from a bank in the future. It did impact their credit score. We would have to go through all the mod paperwork. And most of the time, people didn't even know what they were signing. So in some instances, I would say to somebody, hey, do you know that in 2 years from now, you have a lump sum payment due of $125,000 from that mod you did 10 years ago?
Wow.
Like, no, I had no idea. We just signed it because we had no other choice. And that's how crazy it is. So, they did what they needed to do at the time, but not knowing what the ramifications are in the future.
Mike Rakeman is with us. He's with Fellowship Home Loans. And of course, I advocate for these guys because I believe in them. I've spent time with you, Mike, and Brian, and the team, and so appreciate what you guys do. And I know you've been busy because, of course, interest rates are at historic lows. Did you ever expect, you've been in this business a long time, you ever expect a time like, ever think you'd see a time like this?
No, this is unprecedented in so many ways, and we're grateful and blessed that during this trying times that our country's in, and people losing their job or getting their hours cut back, and we've been able to not only work but actually been the busiest we've ever been because of these low rates. So we also want to take our blessings and bless others with that. We've been supporting all different local charities and things where.
Sure.
A lot with the kids. A lot of kids around here on subsidized lunches and things like that they got at school. Now the schools are closed. So where are those kids getting those meals? And those are the type of things that we're trying to support. And because we have been able to maintain our jobs and been busy, we got to use that and help others.
We're grateful for you, and I love telling everybody about Fellowship Home Loans. We invite you to reach out to them. It's a great time to reach out and see if there's a cash out refinance available to you, or go call 800-510-MIKE. We've set up a special toll-free number, 800-510-6453, or go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/MikeG, fellowshiphomeloans.com/MikeG. Thanks, Mike, for all you guys do. Keep fighting the good fight, and I'm glad you could answer some of these important questions